playing a Mega Lopunny to Dunsparce EX deck that we were talking about before. So as he plays out his turn, let's have a little rundown. As he is going to start off with a Fan Call, then you search your deck for any 3 colorless Pokemon with 100 hit points or less and pop them in your hand. So Owen's deck is built on that Mega Lopunny EX, has 2 very good attacks. The first one, Gale Frost, 60 damage plus 170, that's right, if you move Mega Lopunny into the active this turn. This means Owen will be playing musical chairs often as he tries to get that Mega Lopunny back into the active. And make no mistake about it, Spiky Hopper is also very good for 160 damage going through all effects of your opponent's Pokemon. We did see Crystal make the finals of Prague. Spiky Hopper says, no, not today, Crystal, to the discard pile you go. So how is Owen KAMERMAN drawing cards and playing musical chairs then? Well, he has the Dunsparce, of course, with that runaway draw ability, letting you shuffle itself away. It does work from the active, and then you draw 3 cards. One more card I want to draw attention to here though, Mike, is that sneaky little Abra that lets you pop it, shuffle it back into the deck if it's in the active spot. Keep an eye on that one.
And what a deck it will be into this particular matchup. The numbers just work out so well. Mega Lopunny hitting for 230, which will knock out pretty much all of Tobias's board, as we haven't teased what he's going to be playing here, but the Cyrano will definitely reveal that. Going to be playing Raging Bolt EX, which has been a deck lots have been looking to play into this Dragapult meta, as it does have a pretty favored matchup there. And it is that combination of Raging Bolt EX with Ogerpon that is able to get so much energy in play and hit for big knockouts. In this particular matchup, that allows you to take those knockouts on a Mega Lopunny. And so Owen will have to be very aware that a one-hit knockout could be coming at any single moment, as the Latias and Raging Bolt EX come down onto the field, potentially as the Meowth EX will likely go to hand and use that amazing ability. Definitely one of the MVPs of post-rotation. Meowth EX has been seen in many decks here.
Yeah, probably the best card coming out of perfect order, as we do see the free retreat thanks to Skyliner into that Mega Kangaskhan EX to draw 2 from his ability, Run Errand, Till Dance, drawing 1. And as you did say, Mike, it's going to be a really interesting game because Tobias' list has a lot of tricky cards, you know, Iron Leaves, Persimmon, Lily's Clefairy. He won't be using any of them. He is just going to be announcing Bellowing Thunder as often as possible. So I was going to see the pass over to Owen, who's going to start to turn off with that evolution into the Dunsparce and the runaway draw. Now, bear in mind, I'm going to say you can't promote Bonaria and then evolve into it to get the extra damage. It actually has to be the Mega Lopunny hitting the active there. So we do have to promote the Dunsparce. But I do believe that one has a free retreat cost, doesn't it? Yep. So Gale Frost is still currently live.
And we saw a little tease of the Moltres in the hand, which will allow for an easy knockout on the Ogerpon. Typically, we see Raging Bolt just leaving that Mega Kangaskhan in the active as it can tank most hits, but on this occasion, it's just going to be a free retreat into the Moltres and taking an easy 2-prize knockout with just a 1-prize board state.
Wow, what a strong turn. And that's our first prize card here at the Utrecht Regional Championship from Owen KAMERMAN with the big uptrade from the Fighting Wings Moltres. It is over to Tobias now, though, who's had enough of that. He's put down that Raging Bolt. He's starting to turn off there with that Run Errand. Now, it won't be too hard to announce Bellowing Thunder for the KO on the Moltres, but then, you know, your opponent's taking 2 prize cards with a 1-prize Pokemon. You're responding. Oh, we are going to see Meowth for that last-ditch catch, and it's going to be for the Crispin, letting you search your deck for any 2 different types of basic energy. Attach 1, and 1 goes to your hand.
And it will be that fighting energy, allowing you to start powering up that Raging Bolt. A very versatile card here, Crispin, as there are a variety of energy types in the deck. You want to be often getting the fighting and the lightning, but sometimes you utilize that second energy as a grass energy to be able to attach to a Teal Mask Ogerpon as the Pheasantipity EX comes down, trying to set up a bit of stability on the board. But it might not be the most ideal of board states for Tobias, as that early knockout puts a lot of pressure on him.
It does. You need to respond, right? And we can definitely respond by attaching the energy here. But, you know, the board is filled with low hit point Pokemon. And you know what Mega Lopunny does, Mike, as we are going to see the Bellowing Thunder for the KO here. Mega Lopunny says, Meowth, discard pile. Pheasantipity, discard pile. Latias, discard pile. Owen KAMERMAN has a very easy prize map here. Let's see how he can respond.
Playing the 4 bosses orders in the deck, wanting to try and gust those smaller Pokemon on the bench, lower HP, and you see a boss drawn there off of that Dunsparce. We'll now just be looking to try and set up the Mega Lopunny for the attack.
Do we have a way to grab? Oh, we have the Hilda. Oh, and a Buddy Puff. And Hilda is so good in this deck, Mike, because Hilda letting you search your deck for an evolution Pokemon and an energy. So that can search you the Dunsparce, it can search your Mega Lopunny, it can search you the energy cards that you need as well. as we do see the little flash of the A-Spec there. It was the enriching energy. Not something you see all the time, but a fantastic card in this deck.
And with recent winning decks like Mateusz over in Prague, you might be wondering if the Dunsparce EX is available. It is not in this deck. That would be a great attacker here to knock out the active Raging Bolt, but is not in Owen's list. Oh,
yes, with the Tenacious Tail, yeah. That's a good thing, because the Raging Bolt actually has 240 hit points, and Gale Frost does 230. So that's a rather irritating number there for Owen. So it looks like he can play an Ultra Ball to grab Mega Lopunny, but hasn't got the energy. So he can't play the boss. So it looks like he's going to do the Dunsparce EX here. If the, I should say a runaway draw. If this finds you energy and the Mega Lopunny, we're laughing. Let's have a look, because then he can play the boss's orders and go around the Raging Bolt. Boss's orders energy, but I don't think we have a way to find the Mega Lopunny.
Yeah, and there's none of those Teal Mask Ogerpons on the bench to try and get an easy KO with the Moltres.
Nope.
So that's going to be the Hilda required here. So running out of draw from the Dunsparce, not able to naturally find the Mega Lopunny and energy together to be able to utilize the boss this turn. And that's been a huge part of this format. Without things like Counter Catcher in format, not many decks playing Prime Catcher, boss's orders is the main form of Gust in every deck. And so when you need to use a Hilda, a Wally's Compassion, a Crispin on Tobias's side, you cannot synergize it with Gust.
No, you would have loved to have so close, but yet so far on this turn. So it looks like the Hilda is going to grab the Mega Lopunny, and it is going to be for that enriching energy, that A-Spec. When you attach it to one of your Pokemon, you draw 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. And the main reason why this is played in the Dunsparce deck is that if you get ahead of yourself on energy attachments, you're going to attach it to a Dunsparce, shuffle it back into your deck, then you can reuse that multiple times, Mike. Absolutely incredible. Here it is going to get attached here, though. That's 4 cards. That finds the Ultra Ball. Would have loved that a bit earlier.
And you can see how many cards this deck draws. The Dunsparce engine in combination with enriching energy, so good, but on this occasion didn't find the combo. And that is one of the weaknesses of some of these draw-based decks, is they need that draw because they need such big combos. Mega Lopunny is there and will be available for an attack. It's just whether leaving it in the active with no energy on Tobias's board is enough to keep it in play and surviving.
Now, I think where these Raging Bolt decks used to have, Professor Sardo and stuff, I think it's going to be a lot harder to get to this, is it 330 hit points Mega Lopunny has? Yeah, it's going to be hard to get there. Now, it's not impossible with enough Teal Dancers and things along those lines. We are going to see Buddy Poffin. But yeah, not super ideal here for Owen, but, we'll be firing off an attack at the very least. I mean, he could leave a 1 prize ring if he really wants to, but...
Yeah, and I think with the board having no energy on, you're confident that you'll be able to hit it. I mean, there's the Glass Trumpet for Tobias, which would be able to get to energy at a moment's notice. But on this occasion, it will be that 230 swing into the active. Mega Lopunny, efficient attacker, Gale Thrust 60 plus 170. On this occasion, just 10 damage short on the Raging Bolt. And now it's for Tobias to respond.
Here he's trying that Area 0 under depths. Not actually live yet, but if you have a Terra Pokemon in play, you can have up to 8 bench Pokemon. We will need that. There's a Persimmon, that fighting type attacker. Then you deal with fighting weak Pokemon, which I guess Mega Lopunny actually is. So what's that? How much damage is that one doing again? Is it 20 plus 20 for bench? So 20 times.
20 times for each of your basic Pokemon. So up to 9 basic Pokemon would be possible to take the knockout that way.
Okay.
Does have the Glass Trumpet.
Crispin. Oh, yeah, and Glass Trumpet Energy Switch.
Yeah, there's all sorts of ways.
Tobias is playing a full of 4 copies of Energy Switch, by the way. So he's playing musical chairs of his energy. Wherever you see it attached, it might not stay there for very long. Okay, so can the Persimmon, that coordinated throwing, coordinates that Mega Lopunny into Disc Upper? There is the Glass Trumpet, 1 and 2. Now, bear in mind, they can be energy switched off. Boss's orders, what do we have?
Got the Night Stretcher in there. There is an energy switch or 2, and you've got the
There was a Teal Mask as well. There was a Teal Mask. You can activate your Area 0. There's the energy switch. Oh, little bit of a rapid fire combination, are we then, Tobias? Okay, this early in the morning, round 3. Okay, one errand first though, drawing 2. Rapid fire combo, 200 damage. Flip a coin until you get tails, 50 for each head. So, now you mentioned the hand size earlier, Mike. Zerosic Machination. That's going to force Owen to discard till he has 3 cards in his hand.
And I've just realized on the other side, no Terra Pokemon in play, so he can't go wide with that Area 0 under depths.
That concession? I think that was a concession from Tobias. He wasn't happy with how that game was panning out, so he has wrapped it up there, going to advance to a game 2. Owen KAMERMAN sneaking game 1.
Well, I think just realizing that the coin flip's unlikely to come through on the Kangaskhan, knowing that there was an easy response on the other side, and just overbenching non-Terra Pokemon to avoid putting the Teal Mask Ogerpon in play for the Moltres, which then led the bench lock with that Area Zero under depths at the end, and just recognizing wanting that time for the next few games, as there's going to be a slow back and forth with how much draw both these decks have.
Yeah, Tobias probably realizing, did actually have a Teal Mask Ogerpon in hand, but, chose to bench Persimmon first, as you rightfully said, was then bench locked, will not be able to get around. As we do see the replay here, this was OWYN's fantastic turn 2 here, getting that Moltres with that Fighting Rings, the easy 2 prizes to leapfrog himself in the lead. This was a turn where OWYN couldn't quite piece together the fantastic turn that he wanted, was still able to put 230 damage on the field, and this was the turn where Tobias, did bench lock himself by benching stuff in the wrong orders, perhaps, was eyeing up the rapid fire combo, said, not quite going to work, let's have enough time for game 2 and 3.
Just recognizing Fan Rotom finishing off the Raging Bolt would then mean a 1-prize board state, so it'd still be favored for OWYN to finish off the game. And even with a 0-6 Machination, just not taking away enough resources, because OWYN will get to choose the 3 best resources from that hand and guarantee the success in the next turn.
Yeah, but when you have runaway draw, it's not going to last long. We are going to get down for game 2 here. Tobias will be kicking us off. That is a scary Pokemon to lead in the active. That Wellspring Ogerpon can access your opponent's bench very easy with Torrential Pump. We are going to see the benched Latias EX as well. And we are going to see the pass is over to OWYN now. Going second, what can he piece together? Has led one of the best Pokemon you can lead in this format with that fan cool Rotom. Searching the deck, 3 colorless Pokemon off to the races. And
it works so well with the Baneri. You can see the Dunsparce engine and the Mega Lopunny both working so well with the fan call, but does have a Buddy Poffin in hand, so we'll be able to fill up the bench here and protect from a complete dismantlement with this Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. One of the scariest cards to be facing down when you have these low HP basic Pokemon, and will be that single energy attachment crisping away from taking the knockout next turn. So Tobias's hand doesn't need much to be mighty effective during next turn.
No, yeah, so the thing is, he only plays 1 copy of Water Energy, does Tobias, but with Crispin, you can just pluck it out exactly when you need it. So it looks like we are going to see that fan call conclude for OWYN, for Baneri ×2 and a Dunsparce. There's the Buddy Poffin as well, basically saying, whoever wants to hit the bench, you're hitting the bench this turn. So Dunsparce, 1 with a free retreat cost, 1 without, and we have the Baneri as well in hand, Baneris, I should say. Wow.
Just everything you need to set up here. And
no supporter though, Mike.
Yeah, we'll be able to draw next turn with those, but for that first turn, you are kind of reliant on seeing cards through things like your supporters in that hand. So by going first, Tobias is in a much stronger spot here.
And if you look at OWYN's deck list, 4 Lilies, 4 Hilda, 4 Wallies, 4 Boss's Orders. He is, and then 4 Pokegear results. Does that a miss?
I think that's a miss on the Pokegear there.
Oh, wow. That's just as I was going through the amount of supporters, the Pokegear does fail. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Take any supporter card you find and put it in your hand. Yeah, quite a streamlined deck there for OWYN, but no supporters, well, to support him, you could say, in this turn 1. But they're full bench, though. Who needs a precious trolley, Mike?
Well, there's a concern here for OWYN 100% that 2 of these really important Pokemon could get taken out next turn. We've got a Baneri here and here, and if both of those get taken out next turn, then that would be scary. But there's also just the draw engine.
Oh, hold on. Can I just interrupt? We did see the Nighttime Mine get placed there from OWYN. Terra Pokemon attack costs 1 colorless more. That makes the Torrential Pump harder without a staging replacement.
Unfortunately for you, Shay, got instantly bumped there by the Area Zero under depths from Tobias.
Fair enough.
But it's good that we know that's in the format right now. Nighttime Mine, a card that many people will have not seen before this event, and it's an option that many of our players have chosen to try and counter Dragapult, but it works conveniently here against the Terras featuring in Raging Bolt.
I thought OWYN we are quite happy that you found that stadium there, but has 0 uses right now. Well, I guess it forced out. But there we are going to see the Torrential Pump, 120 to the active, 120 to the bench, KO. Double KO, I should say. That's 2 prize cards there from Tobias. The board state looking a little bit anemic, though. Not a lot else going on, but is in the driver's seat.
Was able to take out that energy as a priority, and one of the Dunsparce to reduce the draw, but an Ultra Ball here, getting rid of the Air Balloon and Baneri, start drawing cards, and I think OWYN at this stage is quite far behind, and so he'll be relying heavily on these 3 cards he'll draw right now.
Yeah, because we know there's no supporter in hand. This could be a big runaway draw, enriching. Oh, I mean, that's pretty good, to be fair. I mean, there's no supporter, but that is what we need to find. Mega Lopunny and an energy.
from this point can take a KO next turn with that Mega Lopunny, has the Enriching Energy to draw more, has the Poké Gear to potentially get more cards in this hand. So very good draw there from the Dudunsparce, and will be going into a very strong turn, and it will rely a lot on Tobias to rebuild after this.
It's definitely forcing Tobias to answer some questions here. Now, I think OWYN would love to try and get that Enriching Energy onto a Dunsparce, but I think when you hands like this, you have to just accept it will get attached to Mega Lopunny. But it's fine, though. I mean, yeah, still 4 cards.
And you can see, just thinking through the turn, what else do you want this turn? You found all the things you need to get the knockout you're hoping for.
I guess you could Poké Gear first if you really want to try and preserve. We do find a Hilda there and a Wally, so now you can, I guess you can preserve your Enriching Energy now.
Yeah, that's a brilliant...
And find a Dunsparce for your bench one as well.
That's a brilliant decision there. OWYN just recognizing how important conserving these resources are. You know, the ace spec of choice here, the Enriching Energy, is a one-of in the deck, as all ace specs are, and can be such a vital card in any given situation. And given he doesn't need too much more this turn, we'll just be looking to try and set up a bit more, and that's going to be draw 4 with Enriching Energy.
Wow.
Another Dudunsparce has that Battle Cage just to try and bump the Area 0. But really, at this stage, maybe wanted to gust down the Latiasi X. Perhaps that was the factor there.
Yeah, I think you might be right, trying to hoping that Poké Gear would find the boss's orders. We are going to see the Hilda being played here, grabbing an evolution Pokemon and an energy card, any energy card, so I can find special energy as well, of course. But yeah, watching Mega Lopunny deck, honestly, is so fun to watch, isn't it? Just, there's the stadium replacement, musical chairs, Wallies, supporters, drawing cards. When you watch it here, right, you're thinking, how has this deck not had a, you know, a super deep run?
Especially as it seems to have a reasonable matchup into Dragapult, because you have the Wally's Compassion to keep healing away any damage.
Yeah.
And just going to be looking to set up more here, potentially. Maybe trying to get more Dunsparce out onto the bench. But actually, at this stage, this is quite safe from a Wellspring Mask Ogerpon return KO. So if that were to be recovered, but ultimately, for OWYN, he's thinking long-term right now. He's not thinking about this current turn. He's got everything he needs for this current turn. He's just thinking about how he can be best positioned if Tobias has a huge pop-off moment after this KO.
Did actually draw a Dunsparce there off that 1-0 draw and an Ultra Ball, so can reload the bench if he wants. We are going to see a free retreat though, thanks to the Air Balloon. Gale Frost, big KO, prizes evened up here. And our Swiss Round 4 Game 2 feature match here at the Utrecht Regional Championships is over to Tobias with the Latias. We are going to see flip the script presentivity for a 1-2-3 card draw. He needs to reload and needs to respond now.
See that Lily's Clefairy, not going to be much use as an attacker at this stage. Meowth as well, missing attackers, and that hand is big, but doesn't have the pieces that Tobias needs at this stage. No energy on board, very little support available. Might even need to just send the Meowth to try and get more cards with the Lilies or something like that. This is really a rebuild moment now for Tobias.
I mean, does have the Iron Leaves in hand, so he can fire that back off. But the problem is, of using these 2 prized attackers is that the Gale Frost just deals with them so effectively. You don't really want to be using them if you can avoid it.
Yeah, the Mega Lopunny EX, main downside is it needs to come from the bench for its attack. But in combination with the Dudunsparce, you can very easily retreat into a Dudunsparce and move it back into the active. So the synergy there is definitely apparent. And for Tobias, he's very aware that 230 swings across 2 turns would win the game for OWYN, so he needs to find a knockout at this stage.
Try and get a Raging Bolt in the active, or perhaps you need at least force off boss's orders. Has benched a Teal Musk Ogerpon. Teal Dance, draw 1. Big cards.
Well, what was that one card?
I think it was an Area 0.
I mean,
oh, Glass Trumpet. I mean, that's not actually live right now, unless you bench that Meowth.
There's no energy in the discard pile because Wellspring Mask Ogerpon shuffled them all in. So really not much going on in this hand. Does have an E-switch, which is always useful.
Does have an E-switch, yeah.
Moving energy about in this deck is key. But what's he going to get off of the Meowth here?
Crispin. He's been moving about that Mega Wardino quite a few times. I don't think that's very helpful. That attack is 80 plus 20 for each energy attached to your opponent's active. I don't think that's going to be helping much. Maybe he's consulting the prize card here. It's going to be the Cyrano. Okay, so we can get some EX Pokemon now. Raging Bolt looks like Mega Kangaskhan could be getting eyed up here. Rapid fire combo again.
It might just be a put the Mega Kangaskhan in the active, draw some cards, and hope it survives the next turn.
Yep, I mean, that is the hardest Pokemon for Owen to KO. Isn't possible for him to one-hit KO it, so I don't think that's a, what's the word? This isn't a crazy situation for Tobias to hope for here, but doesn't look like we're firing off a meaningful attack, at least at this point, unless the run errand draws are, you know, top tier. Let's have a look at them. Run errand, 1 and 2. Go on, Tobias.
Just more stadiums.
That area 0 times 2, Mike. We are really in the underdepths right now, then.
Well, there was a chance that he could have drawn towards that Persimmon and found a way to take a big knockout with energy switch, go wide, but on this occasion, just asking too much from that limited board pre-knockout, and Owen will be happy to see the pass back to him.
Owen's turn's going to be rather one-dimensional. He's got 2 things to do this turn, folks, at home. Let's go through them. First thing, musical chairs, Mega Lopunny. Get to the bench, back into the active. Second thing, player boss's orders. All he wants to do this turn is Owen. Let's see if he can pull that off. Starting us off with a Buddy Poffin.
As we mentioned previously, 4 boss's orders in the deck. Such a key card in every one of our post-rotation decks, as there's not many great gust options. And does actually have that Abra you mentioned before, a great way to play those musical chairs, as you say, with that teleporter ability.
Yeah, when it's in the active spot, just shuffle it away. So you can just, if you had a switch, for example, get Abra into the active, teleporter, then you can get Mega Lopunny right back into the action. It's like a way of retreating twice, even though you can't retreat twice, of course. Ultra Ball being eyed up. Mega Lopunny, Wally's Compassion. So this, I imagine, will be finding a runaway draw to Dunsparce. And then we can get off to the rail. Moltres are getting eyed up here. Maybe Owen's price checking here as well.
Well, that Moltres now live, thanks to the Teal Mask Ogerpon on the bench. Point. So various options here, which might also be relying on that Dunsparce again. The Dunsparce in the first turn, attacking turn for Owen, was so key to finding the pieces needed for the knockout.
Really was.
And now it's going to be key once again. Drawing 3 cards is so powerful. And it will reveal some great resources, I'm sure, for Owen.
I mean, there were formats before, Mike, in black and white, where drawing 3 Cherrim was the supporter, best supporter in format. And now we have this on an ability that we can do multiple times a turn. But here we go. Runaway draw, 1, 2, and 3. Pokegear, that could find the boss.
Wow.
But still need to get out the active, though. What's on?
Well, can do a attach retreat and maybe reset that way. And thanks to the Abra now being on the bench, that should be good. And you just see how many boss's orders are in that deck. 2 at the front there, and we'll be using that Pokepad to thin. Wanting to thin maximally here is that Pokegear finding a boss's orders at this stage would really put Owen so far ahead against Tobias here.
It would be. Here we go, Ultra Ball being eyed up here. I imagine to be for another, the Dunsparce runaway draw. Can Owen start running away with this game? Here we go. Switching cards would be needed, or an energy attachment, as you say, because then you can pay retreat the 1, get Abra into the active, teleporter, Mega Lopunny back into the active, then that will satisfy Gelfrost. Here's a Pokegear, 2 bosses, or don't even look at the rest of the cards. Lysandre entering the hand, and I will imagine he'll be entering the discard pile relatively quickly.
And that boss's orders can target so many different Pokemon on the bench, can either target Pheasantipity or target that energy on the Ogerpon. Or maybe even the Latias for mobility. So many cards.
Options. There we go. Pay and retreat. Attaching Miss Energy. Pay and retreat. Abra into the active. For now, there's the boss's orders. Who's it going to be? A lot of good options here, Mike. Fez, Latias, Meowth, Teal Mask Ogerpon. Basically everything apart from Raging Bolt.
Just going to be taking the time, as it's such a key decision. It will be the Pheasantipity EX with that flip the script, bringing so many decks back into the game when behind. On this occasion, Tobias will not be given that opportunity to draw, and it will be another 2 prizes here for Owen. 230 damage with that Mega Lopunny, and a KO, putting him 1 KO away from winning this game.
Massive turn there from Owen. I told you what he needed to do was move Mega Lopunny and play boss's orders. He's done exactly that. Tobias is feeling the pressure here. Currently at 4 prize cards to take. Owen is at 2. What can Tobias do? Let's have a look. What we got here then? It's got to be Raging Bolt, right? Or the Persimmon again. We're in that same scenario as game 1.
The only saving grace for Tobias is there is no future attacker on the bench for Owen, but does have that Moltres that could come in at a moment's notice to knock out the Teal Mask Ogerpon. So some interesting lines here for Tobias to try and take this one-hit knockout on the Mega Lopunny and potentially stabilize the board to protect him from that Moltres.
I mean, That is all he can do at this point. But there's Area 0 on the deck, which is now live, of course. You can have up to 8 base. Oh, Cypher Maniacs deciphering. Then you look at your deck, put 2 cards you like to the top, shuffle the rest, put them back on top. So basically saying, if you can draw cards via One Errand or Till Dance, you're basically getting the card you want. What could these 2 cards be here, Mike?
Well, it could be, need some energy in play at this stage. Might be able to use that Raging Bolt this turn to take the knockout, and potentially looking to try and bump the stadium with the Shen Pao to remove those Ogre-Pons. There's all sorts of lines that could be taken, but actually a bit of disruption could be very powerful at this stage, because that would take away the easy musical chairs, as you called it, for the Mega Lopunny. So Tobias might be recognizing the safe route is disruption at this stage, rather than trying to get aggressive.
Yeah, oh no, Meowth has 170 hit points. I was going to say, could you imagine getting KO to the spiky hopper with the boss's orders? But the Meowth is 10 hit points away. There is the Cypher Maniac concluding there. Shuffle the rest, and those 2 will go back to the top and run Errand to immediately draw them. So energy and unfair stamp, not reset stamp, I apologize. Till Dance, draw 1 first. Okay.
Wow, might even be able to attack with the Mega Kangaskhan this turn with that energy switch onto the active.
Does have Crispin in hand as well.
Yeah, might even be looking to go make that bench as wide as possible with Latias.
Oh, here we go, Mike.
There's all sorts of options on the other side of this unfair stamp, but it's asking quite a lot out of 5 cards and no supporter.
It is, and you're really forcing Owen. Owen has to play the musical chairs and play boss's orders. If you're giving him a 3 card hand to start the turn, you're going to make that as hard as possible. There is the unfair stamp, the A-spec from Tobias. Shuffle your hand away. If you play it, you draw 5. Your opponent draws 2. Here we go. This is one of the most popular A-specs here in the format for good reason. This will start making Owen answer some questions here, Mike, and the turn continues for Tobias.
I'm just looking at that clock as well. 23 minutes left.
Yeah.
An early scoop from Tobias to try and maximize his chance to win those last 2 games. A very strong performance from him, even though he's had his back against the wall with how much pressure Owen's been putting on. What are those 5 cards showing? There's energy.
Glass Trumpet. Oh, no. I think just a turn. Oh, okay, because we can still turn attach. So rapid fire combo is still live. Just want to quickly say, Owen's hand, there's some bricks right now. They're not good. They were not good. Here we go. Rapid fire combo, then 200 damage, 50 for each head you flip until you get tails. Here we go.
That's 1 head.
That's 250.
And that's going to be a tails.
250. Okay. Could you imagine? Now that would have been a game swinger right there. For the 350 plus the unfair stamp. Didn't see it quite now. That is over to... Oh, I apologize. They were the Dunsparce. I thought they were just normal Dunsparce. Owen's hand is fire.
Going to be drawing 3 with that runaway draw. Does have the air balloon, so we'll be able to reset the attack. Just now needs the boss's orders to win the game here. Very similar scenario to the last game. Just needs to find a way to reset that Mega Lopunny and find a boss's orders. And there are still 3 remaining.
Still... I think we've got a couple hurdles to jump over here, though, because we need to find the Abra if we're going to try and do the retreat thing again.
Can use the Dunsparce to do that, but it would be risky because you'll be committing all in at that point into that as your retreat back into the Mega Lopunny.
But how would we get the Dunsparce in the active, though?
The air balloon in hand.
Oh, sorry, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm learning as well, folks.
So it's a simple deck, this one, in terms of what's needed each turn, but it's actually quite complicated in how you line up the whole game. You've got a big 3 prize liability in that Mega Lopunny, so recognizing the best way to protect that is there's a poker gear. I think we're going to be seeing a poker gear for boss's orders once again to decide this game. Owen, 2 prize cards left. Needs to find a boss's orders. Will thin his deck first, but this could be the moment right now.
Oh, I guess in theory you could also find Wally here, but we haven't got an energy to attack, unfortunately, so that's not ideal. Oh, I guess doesn't Wally puts it back into hand, actually,
and now we draw another 4 as well.
All right, so Wally's is also live. Boss wins the game. Wally's, is also quite good as well.
Yeah, it does help out.
2 big supporters from the Poké Gear. Buddy popping. So what Owen is basically doing here is taking as many unuseful cards he wants out of his deck. So basically, any card that's not boss's orders or Wally, he wants them out of the deck. So that's why the Poké Gear's going to grab that.
And with 4 prize cards on the other side for Tobias, would still need quite a lot.
Yeah.
Would need 2 knockouts following this moment, as the 3 prize cards of Mega Lopunny wouldn't win in the game. No Briar available to try and get a 4 prize turn or anything like that. So OWYN at the
Here we
stage
go,
looking for a
Mike.
boss. And
Boss's
there it
orders.
is.
That's the game for OWYN, winning 2-0 here in our Swiss round 4 feature match. Runaway drawing and Gale thrusting his way to a 4-0 record.
Our 2024 Utrecht champion looking to try and do it again here in 2026. A strong performance here on the feature match, going 4-0 now into round 5 and just showing that sheer power of Mega Lopunny X.